Akshit Kumar. Good evening. Good evening, Sharad. Good evening, Dhruv. Good evening, Ayush, Jenia, Ananya, Elsa, Pragya, Hanish, Ashika, Muhammad, Uwais Divyagna Chauhan. Done. Good evening, all. Are we good to go? Very quickly. Let me unmute one of you. Dhruv. Dhruv, do you hear me? Dhruv, am I audible? Okay. Ananya, am I audible, dear? Oh, that's okay, Dhruv. Ananya, do you hear me? It's okay. Well, we'll start the class and let's see. Who is there? Akhtar.
Good evening,
Ananya?
sir.
Yeah, good evening. Is that you, Ananya?
Yes, sir.
Great. How are you, dear?
I'm good, sir. What about you?
I'm doing well. So I believe the mic is all okay today?
Yes, sir.
Fix it, Dhruv. Okay, fine. So we are good to go then. Let's get going, okay?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
So let's see what do we have in store today. Okay. Okay. Is the screen visible all? Can I get some yes? Right. Great. It says root words and etymology. Gradually, we are getting into the crux of learning vocabulary part. And it says root words and etymology. How many of you are learning new words daily? And how many words a day? How many of you have taken up learning vocabulary recently? Or has it been long since you started? 15 words a day. Okay, good one. And how do we remember these words? Vocabulary memorizing is one step. And to be able to remember them, it's more important. So, how do we remember the words that we memorize actually? What's your strategy? 2 to 3 words a day, okay? And what is the strategy to remember the words that we learn? Now, you may have different sources to learn vocabulary. Probably you're into reading newspaper, or you listen to conversations, or you watch films, or you talk to friends, or you are preparing for any kind of a competitive paper. Now, the question is, how do we remember the words that we actually memorize them? So when I learn, I try to frame sentence with the help of that word so it would be easy to remember. Good, Ananya. And I says by using it in normal conversation. Okay. Agree with both the strategies. Good. So it's possible to remember words that we memorize by using them in the conversation that we have with friends. So that's a very good practice. Or you could take writing, write short stories, write conversations. Okay, so let's see what do we have in store today. It says root words and etymology. Let's go one by one. So it says, what is vocabulary? The number of words in one's own repository. Now, let's say a kind of a library that we have is called repository. Number of words that you have in your repository, number of words that you have on your mind, number of words that you're familiar with, number of words that you generally use in your conversation. It can also mean, though loosely, the words we use in a day to day conversation or colloquially. Okay, so should say is learn words in the morning, repeat in the evening, and revise every week so it gets in permanent memory. Very good, yeah. So a repository could also mean, the number of words or the list of words that we generally use in a conversation. Now, see, you may not have regular conversation with your friends in English. What you could do is you could initiate conversation with friends so that you use the words that you have memorized. You need to initiate a conversation. When you go down to meet friends, you need to make a note of few words that you're going to use them in the conversation. It's not possible to use all the words that you have memorized. What should you do? Initiate a talk. Initiate a topic in which you could use the words that you have learned. Now it benefits mutually, right? You could teach your friend that the kind of words you're learning, and your friend could learn new words. And if you're wrong, there could be a discussion. Out of discussion, you only get benefited. So it also means, though loosely, the words we use in a day-to-day conversation or colloquially. Now, do you know the meaning of repository and colloquially? Yes, repository, the number of words that we already know, let's say in the library of the mind, and colloquially in a informal conversation. So we may not have formal conversation with friends. We have informal conversations. So in an informal conversation, we kind of use the words. So in a colloquial, in a local language, or in a conversational language. So moving on, why vocabulary? Why is it important to use vocabulary, or why is it so important to use the right word? Now, if you were to talk with a native speaker may not correct your sentence formation, or a native speaker is not interested in your grammar. Let's say, for example, you say how long you have been living here to an American or to an English guy. Now, he or she may not correct you, saying, it's not how long you have been, it is how long have you been. But they may correct if you use a wrong word or a wrong phrase. So, what matters to native speakers is the kind of words and the phrases that we use. They're not so concerned about the grammar part. For them, grammar is something that's very contextual. So, what matters to them is the kind of words that we use. It's very important to use the right word in the right phrase or the right context. So, why vocabulary? Let's see. A good vocabulary serves three basic purposes. Let's pay attention. Why is it important to use good vocabulary? It is said, it serves three basic purposes. What are they? First, to avoid what is communicated. First, to understand what is communicated to us, and to avoid the misconception or to avoid misinterpretation. Now, it's very important to understand the right word in the right context. So, generally, when you're asked by somebody, okay, what is the meaning of this word? Now, most of the time, we may not understand a new word. It's possible. Now, it's not possible for a human brain to, memorize some lakhs of words. But instead, what do we do? In what context is it used? Now, we tend to, read the word, and we tend to read the words that are before the word or after the word, and we relate it. Okay, in this context, the word could mean this. That is contextual. Okay, let's understand. A good vocabulary serves three basic purposes. The first one, first, to understand what is communicated to us. It's important. What is communicated to us? So, what is communicated to us? Probably the purpose of the matter communicated to us. And secondly, to communicate to others what we intend to communicate. So, to communicate with others, we all know communication is something verbal and non-verbal. And verbal communication includes vocabulary, pronunciation, or grammar, voice modulation, and all. Non-verbal communication is more like body posture, hand gestures, facial expressions. All these are in the non-communication, non-verbal communication. for that matter. Imagine you walk into the interviewer's room and you face the interviewer, you greet the interviewer confidently. Now, that's verbal and non-verbal communication because the interviewer is looking at your personality, that's your appearance, your posture, and then you greet him with a good evening or good morning, depending on the time. You shook hands with the interviewer. Now, the shaking of hands is a non-verbal communication again. How confidently you shake hands with the interviewer, and then how you sit confidently before them. So we use 70% non-verbal communication and 30% is verbal. Now it depends. Either you're talking over the phone or talking to person. Okay, if it's telephonic conversation, it's totally verbal. If it's standing before the person and talking, I think 70% is body language and 30% is the communication one. Imagine you're delivering a speech on the stage, it's more body language. So, vocabulary plays a dominant role to serve three purposes. First, to understand what is communicated to us, and second, to communicate to others what we tend to communicate. Because we need to use the right kind of words to get the information across. How do politicians use vocabulary or phrases? How do social activists use? How do they persuade people to take action? How do politicians persuade audience to cast their vote for them? So that's all the power of language. Thirdly, to avoid being verbose or bellower. Now, how do we understand avoid being verbose? Now, verbose, you understand the word is not positive, right? Though some of you may understand what the word verbose mean, and if you don't understand, it's easy. Thirdly, to avoid being verbose. So they don't want you to be verbose. So what does it technically mean? Verbose is using. So how many of you know the word verbose? Type in the conversation column. Talkative, okay. And and yeah, talkative, full of words, using many words, excessive words, too much of words. Yes. So basically, verbose is using more words than required. There are some people who do that. We see some public speakers and we kind of find it boring, we kind of find it too much when people use too many words than required. Instead of using a word or two, they end up using too many words, and too many words are quite irritating to the ears. So you don't have to be verbose, or you don't have to be a balabor. you know uh, Maybe talkative has always been considered a negative trait in people. It's not a positive trait. We don't call talkative people as confident people, and it's waste of time and energy. You're not asked to be talkative unless you're into marketing. And I wouldn't say talkative people are bad people or talkative people are not gifted. It depends on the kind of job you're doing. You don't have to be talkative when you're a doctor. You don't have to be talkative when you're into not into customer service. But I would definitely say if you are into customer service, you have to be talkative. Maybe salesmen are to be talkative. Uh, Maybe you should be talkative when you're into customer service kind of a job. Let's say you're a counselor, you got to be talkative. You can't talk what is limited and then you're done with the job. So, thirdly, to avoid being verbose or bellable, instead of using too many phrases or too many words, we can limit our language when we understand, okay, this word serves it all. One word serves it all. So, instead of saying, you carry a box of chocolates to the classroom and you don't know how to say, uh, you ask your friends, I want all the students to take one chocolate. Now, that's big sentence. I want all my friends to take one chocolate. Instead, you could say take one each. That serves it all. Take one each serves it all. So when you understand the phrase take one each means, one chocolate, one person. Instead saying, all the students take one chocolates and all. So maybe understanding of phrase could come handy. And here it's about vocabulary. When you understand, okay, this word serves it all, then that's fine. So why vocabulary? We have seen it. And we understood what is vocabulary, the number of words in one's own repository. Now, the number of words that we use in a colloquial conversation, let's say the informal conversation, and we understood why vocabulary is important. It serves three purposes. First, to understand what is communicated to us, and second, to communicate to others what we intend to. The purpose behind the talk, or to get your message across, we need to use the right words, the right word in the right context. And thirdly, we just want to avoid being talkative, avoid being addressed as talkative, verbose, or bellabore. Now, moving on to the very important ones now. How do we learn vocabulary? We may have different objectives behind learning vocabulary. What are the different ways of learning new words? Now, you may either learn the root words that are given here, either you pay attention on the root words, or you learn some prefixes and suffixes. These are the three things that we generally do. Or you learn the etymology, the birth of the word. Now, it takes a little more interest on the language part to understand the etymology of words, whereas learning a root word, prefix, and suffix could be easier than the other one. Now, you find it easier to learn root words. I wouldn't say easier. It does require a lot of interest from the learner's side, but I would say learning root words, prefix, and suffixes comparatively easier than learning the etymology of the word. Like, you go to the birth of the word. Where did this word come from? And what is the culture? What is the reasoning behind using those words? How did the word come into existence? Let's see. So root words, prefix, and suffix, let's understand this way. An English word can have three parts. One is the root, one is the prefix, and one is the suffix. Now, the root, these names could be fancy, root, prefix, and suffix, but we have used it for years and we understand what is it. English language has drawn words from many languages, and we know that. English language has drawn words from many languages. What are they? Now we have drawn words from Latin, Greek, Spanish, French, and Sanskrit as well. See, when we read foreign words, there are so many foreign words that we use in our day-to-day life too, though we don't understand. We say lazy is fair, and there are so many words in detective films and all that we use, and they are foreign words. We know what they mean, and we never tend to see which language did it come from, what is the purpose of using such a word in this context. We generally know what it means. Let's see. So it said English language, I mean, English word has three parts. Now, root, prefix, and suffix. And English language has drawn words or vocabulary from different languages: Greek, Latin, Spanish, French, and Sanskrit. Sometimes we say, right, when a word is difficult to understand or a subject is difficult, we say it's like Greek and Latin to me, something that you don't understand. Okay, so example, Juggernaut is derived from Jagannath. Now, what is the connection between Juggernaut and Jagannath? Does anybody know? Let me see in the conversation column. Any idea? Jagannath, you see here, the Jagannath temple, and the word juggernaut. Got an idea? Let's try. In the conversation column, you can try answering it. Crowded. Okay, go on. One is crowded. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dear. Have an idea, Ananya?
No, sir.
No. It's okay. Fine. So let's understand this way. A campaign. Okay, you're trying. So let's say, have you seen the chariot of Jagannath temple, or have you ever seen a chariot of any temple procession? You've seen big chariots, giant wheels in a procession. And how does it feel when you see the chariot coming? You see hundreds of people pulling the chariot, that immense energy around, or the chariot, the size of the chariot, how does it feel? It feels scary. It feels as if, everything, the chariot might crush everything beneath, right? That immense force is called juggernaut. So derived from the place Jagannath. So when you see Jagannath, you see the chariot, you see it's so huge, and the chariot, rolling down the road, and sometimes you feel, oh my God, what if I came under the wheels of the chariot? Or what if the world came beneath it? The immense force is called Jagannath. So it is derived from the place Jagannath. So it's technically saying, there are so many words in English language that are taken from different languages. And definitely one is this jungle. Now we all know jungle is a Hindi word, right? And jungle is also seen in English. You Google jungle, it says forest. So it's a small example of words being taken from different languages. Okay, now gradually moving on. Yes, once again, I wanted a fresh page. Yeah, yeah, dear. Now, gradually, we are getting into small assignment kind. I'll be helping out how to do them all. So, what do we have here? Root words, prefixes, and suffixes. You can make small notes on your notebook, okay? Yeah. You can make small notes on your notebook. Be ready with a notebook. You will have some assignments to do, class assignments. So you'll be given time to write down and get back to me. Okay. So we have something like this. Anthropos means human like a human. Anthropos, like a human. Add a suffix to anthropo and make it anthropology. Anthropology. So, what is anthropology? Or add, excuse me, dear. Well, so what do we get the word here is anthro. I'll just put it on silent mode so that I'm not disturbed. Yeah. So, yeah, anthropos, human like, add a suffix to it. So, does a suffix appear before the word or after the word? It appears after the word, right? And the prefix appears before the word, right? So, add a suffix, ology, it talks anthropology. So, what is anthropology in the conversation column? Study of human, right? Study of human body. Mhm. Anthropology. A little closer. Study of human. Let's say study of human race. Anthropologists, right? Evolution of human, right? Yes. Evolution of human, study of human origin, right? Now we see anthropologists visiting tribal areas, right? Visiting the tribes and studying their culture, studying their tradition, and they also have documentaries made on the tribes that are reaching extinction, right? And that is how we get to learn about the tribes in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Small groups like Andamanis, Jarvis, Ongis, and all. We have small groups of them that are reaching extinction. Okay, so anthropology is the study of human race, evolution of human, and add a prefix to it and make it miss, and it becomes misanthrope. So, who is a misanthrope then? If anthropo is human like, or right, Stuti, very good. So Stuti says who hates mankind, very good. A person who doesn't like mankind, because we already know anthropology, study of human race and all. So misanthrope is a person who hates human race, right? who hates mankind, very good. A person who dislikes mankind, very nice. One who hates mankind, good. Against mankind, very nice. All of you are right. So we have come to this conclusion. Anthropology is the study of mankind, human race, human evolution, and misanthrope is a person who hates mankind. Very quickly, we'll move on to the next word. And we have some words here. I want you to take your time and get back to me. The first word is anthropocentric. The second word is anthropogenesis. Third, anthropoid. Fourth, zoanthropy. And then we have anthropomorphic and philanthropist. Take your time and refer it, and you can get back to me. You can first write them on your notebook and write the word beside and then type it here. Okay. A small class assignment. Is it okay now, Akshat? No, dear. Mm, so, Akshit, what will I do? I'll do this. First one is that, dear. Akshit, do you see that in the conversation column? Okay, done. I want this to be written on the notebook and then you can type it here if you get the answers, okay? Do it as an assignment. The purpose behind giving you the words is to help you out with kind of a learning. Any answer is welcome, dear. Forget about being right and wrong. Go on. Make sure that you have written all these words on your notebook and then we'll have this. I'm seeing all your examples. Okay. Okay. I'll unmute a couple of you and ask you one by one, okay? After a few minutes. Okay. I'll unmute. Okay, you're working on it. Okay, last 2 minutes, guys. I'll unmute one of you. Okay. So, Stuti. Stuti Miglani. Hello, Stuti. Option dear. I have already unmuted you, dear. No?
Yes, sir. Am I audible now?
Yeah, very much now. So, dear, I have one question only for you. What is the word anthropocentric mean?
So, to be very much centered with the belief that humans are the best.
Awesome. That humans are the best. Because now that we have understood the word anthro means human, and we have also understood anthropology is the study of human race. So anthro is human, pocentric. So that means centered. So what is centered? So human beings are centered. So literally saying human beings are the best, probably opposed to gods and even animals. So saying that human race is the best, opposing God and animals is anthropocentric. Very beautifully said. So, Stuti, well done, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Good. So, the first word, anthropocentric, we have understood it. Okay, Sharad, I'll give you the next one. Okay. So the first one is anthropocentric. So we already know there are words like, people centric, self centered. So when you talk to people, you should sound people centric. You should not sound self centered. Now, there's a little difference, a thin line between selfish and self centered. A selfish person, doesn't think about others, he thinks about his selfish motives, or a self centered person is more invested in him. So there's a thin line. A selfish person may not be concerned about people around him, but a self centered person thinks more about himself. He's so much lost into himself that he doesn't have time to think about others. Selfish is a little negative one. Self centered is little positive. Little positive. I did not say a little. A little is little more. So it's a little positive. So we should always sound people centered or people centric. So you put people in the center. So when you talk about the benefit of people, you will be listened. You will have followers around you. So anthropocentric is considering people as the supreme power opposed to gods and animals. That's the word. Excellent, Stuti. So next we'll give it to Sharad. Now Sharad wants to answer it. Let's. Where is Sharad?
Hello,
Okay,
sir.
I found
Good
him.
evening.
Good evening, dear. Sharad, do you hear me? Hello? Hello, Sharad?
Hi, sir. Hello. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, I do hear you now, dear. So, Sharad, the question
Yes, sir.
is what does the word anthropogenesis mean? Anthro, anthropogenesis.
Sir, anthropogenesis is something like, the origin, or you can say development, like, when human development is being done, or the
Hmm.
origin of a human development is being done. That's called anthropogenesis. Like
Very true.
Genesis here means the origin.
Right.
Anthro, as Stuti said, for humans or animals.
Right.
And yeah, so human and animal being originated, being formed.
Right. Excellent. Very well said, Sharad Mukherjee. There we go, dear. So that was Sharad who beautifully explained the meaning of the word anthropogenesis. So, anthropogenesis does talk about the evolution of human. Okay, and if you were to Google anthropogenesis, what image would come is the evolution of human from monkey to a walking man. Anthropogenesis, the evolution of mankind. It is so interesting to learn things, how human beings have evolved over the years. When we talk about Charles, Darwin theory, and when we understand the human evolution, okay, so it's interesting. So anthropogenesis talks about the human evolution. Nice, very well done. And the third word, let's give it to Akshit Kumar. Akshit, are you there, dear? Akshit, am I audible? Unfortunately, Akshit couldn't join us, so I'll have okay, I'll have Jenya Shivhare. Jenya, are you audible? Are you there? Hi, Jenya. No, some could not actually unmute and talk. Who do we have?
Hello? Hello, sir.
Who's this?
So this is Janya.
Hi, dear. Finally. Hi, Jenya. How are you?
Sir, I'm fine.
Good. So, how about telling me the meaning of the word? I mean, telling us the meaning of the word anthropoid.
So, sir,
Anthropoid. Hmm.
anthropod, like, it means to resemble a human form in any kind of way.
Uh-huh. Do you remember any anthropoid character somewhere that you have seen, dear?
So, like monkeys or ants.
Uh-huh. Nice. What? How do you relate anthropoid with any cartoon or something?
No, sir, not as a cartoon, but
Hmm.
like
It's,
we say that they are a kind of human,
uh,
but they're not actually.
because literally they have some human attributes, right?
Yes, sir.
Ability to walk, scratch, laugh, eat, jump, probably, right? So
Yes, sir.
anthro is human. Chota bean. Okay. So anthro is human, anthropoid is in a human form. Let's say monkeys are the best examples. When we see chimpanzee, right?
Yes, sir.
When they sit, talk, sometimes they make a mockery of human actions. The way they scratch, maybe the way that they look after the children, ape, right? Chimpanzee and all, gorilla, true. And sometimes when you see them walking on, hind legs, you feel, are we really from monkeys? So anthropoid, beautifully said, dear. So there goes Jenya, and I would like to have, who is this retaker? Who is retaker? Hello, retaker. Hello. Dear retaker, could you please name yourself? No? No clue who this is. Naisha Roy. Hi, Naisha Roy.
Sir, could you hear me?
Yes, I do hear you, Naisha Roy.
Sir,
So,
I'm
Miss Roy.
actually
Hmm.
Harini, but since I'm joining from another device, is giving us retaker.
Oh, okay. So, your name is Harini.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're joining from a different device. So, it says retaker.
Yes, sir.
Right. Hi, Harini.
Hello, sir.
How are you doing?
Fine, sir. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, dear. I have a small question for you, dear. What does zoanthropy mean? Zoanthropy mean? Have an idea?
No, sir, not that much.
Which one, which word do you know? You can be very comfortably telling me what word you know.
I actually know philanthropist.
Huh. What does the word mean?
Philanthropist means a person who is so interested in promoting the welfare of others.
Beautiful. Hmm. Have you met some philanthropists in your life? Do you know some of them?
No, but
What
for
about
me, my
Gates?
mother.
Heard of Bill Gates Foundation, dear?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
So what do we call it?
philanthropist.
Obviously, Bill Gates Foundation. These people who have foundations, they have
Ratan
this.
Tata.
Yes, certainly, Ratan Tata. He's a philanthropist. Gates Foundation, Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, and all of them are into. There are many, to name a few. There are many people who are into philanthropy, who are literally doing something for the welfare of human race. Okay, good, dear. It was pleasure talking to you, Harini. Right, dear?
Yes, sir.
There goes Harini. Okay, so I would like somebody to answer this. Dhruv, Dhruv, are you there? No.
Hello.
So, Dhruv, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know what problem it is with. No, technically, you're not able to join quickly, right? Anyway, Dhruv.
Yeah.
So, how do you understand the word zoanthropy?
Sir, it's when a person believes they're like an animal,
Nice. When a person,
believes they are like an animal.
when a person starts believing he's an animal.
Yeah.
Have you ever met somebody like that?
Not yet.
Maybe on YouTube videos, right?
Yeah, serial
The other
killers.
day, I saw a man, Jungle Book. Huh? Yeah, Harini. The child is lost in the jungle and he starts believing he's a pack, right? He's a member of the pack. And it's not that, even in the other day, I happened to see a video of a guy somewhere, and California who spent some lakhs to change him into a dog. He started believing so much that he is an animal. Coming, Bedi of Varun Dhawan. Right, Stuti. Okay, Varun Dhawan. Okay, so Varun Dhawan believes he is a Bedia, the wolf. Hmm? Okay, the wolfanaire. So zoanthropy is technically the delusion of a person's mind. Pragya, I have read about a case of zoanthropy. She behaves like a dog because she was abandoned by her parents when she was just 2 years old. Okay, Pragya, interesting. Ashika, Mowgli, Akshit, have you already given us mic access? When you do that again, you visible mic. Okay, Akshit. Okay. Have I given you mic access to all the people here? I'm not sure. Okay, to some I gave, I believe. Okay, so so the thing is, zoanthropy technically, yes, whatever your examples are true. There are some who believe they are animal. They have a delusion they are animal. They want to behave like animals. So that madness, a man's madness, the delusion of being an animal. Done. And the next, how about Durga Akshaya? Anthropo anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic. Durga Akshay, are you there? Quick, quick. Hmm. You can talk, dear. Anthropomorphic. Okay. Now, can you talk now? Akshay, can you talk now? Ananya, can you talk now? Huh. You can't. Okay. Akshay, can you talk now? I was checking your access. I think I've enabled you all. Huh, go on. Ashika, go on, dear. Really, Ashika?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, very much.
Akshaya.
Akshaya, right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Akshaya. How do you know this word anthropomorphic? Yeah, dear? Okay. So you can type it in the conversation column if you have understood the word anthropomorphic. Anybody? Got a clue? Because we already know morphing is giving a different, different body to a different face, or different face to a different body. Having human characteristics, it means having human characters, right? Human attributes, probably. You sometimes see, in the film Mowgli, right? In the cartoons, you see, like, the bear walking like human, right? Human form, having human traits, very good. The bear is walking like human, talking and all, talk, walk, behave like human. That's anthropomorphic. True, very true. And final word is philanthropist. We already know the word philanthropist. Personification. Very nice, dear. Giving human attributes to the lifeless. And again, personification is a little different. Inanimate objects or lifeless things are called. Here, it's like a bear in cartoons, especially. That's anthropomorphic. Philanthropist is a person who works for the welfare of human beings, right? So anthropocentric, where human beings are considered the best against God and animals. Anthropogenesis, the evolution of human race. Anthropoid, how did we understand the word anthropoid? Quickly. Answers quickly. Anthropoid. Okay. Anthropoid is resembling human. Human in form. Okay. Zoanthropy, delusion of being an animal, right? Anthropomorphic, having human attributes. Philanthropist, a person who is into the welfare of people. Okay, done. We're done with this list. We are moving to the next one quickly. Okay. Take a look at the screen. And before I talk, take a look, understand on your own. Okay. So the prefix EU, it means good, pleasant, or kind. Euphemism, noun form, a pleasant substitute for a harsh word. Example, some of the examples of euphemisms are passed away instead of died, letting go instead of you are fired, right? We use many soft words or soft phrases instead of the harsh original ones to make them sound pleasant. They are called euphemisms in figures of speech. We use different figures of speech: irony, right? Simile, metaphor, personification, right? These are different figures of speech. We will be learning them gradually. Euphemism, a pleasant substitute for a harsh word. Etymology of euphemism. Let us learn the etymology of euphemism. The birth, the evolution. Greek word euphemo means good, auspicious speech. Greek word euphemo means good or auspicious speech. So let's say a good speech. So you, good, plus phemo, speech. So let's understand this way. You means good and phemo means speech. So let's say a good speech. So where do we deliver a good speech? On someone's wedding, right? Or when someone is taking a retirement from a job, having worked for so many years. Or when you have invited somebody and he's the chief guest, you deliver a speech praising the person, talking about the good deeds that this person has done. Okay, so let's understand this way. EU means good, pleasant, or kind. Euphemism is a soft word that we use in a day-to-day conversation. Sometimes, you in corporate circles, they don't say I am jobless. They instead say I am between jobs. So between jobs is a soft phrase to say that I am jobless. Instead of using the right conventional phrase I am jobless, they use I'm between jobs. Or you are fired. They use a soft word like we are letting you go. That means you're fired. They use a soft word. We use many of them in a day-to-day conversation as well. So euphemo is a good speech. Good speech. Next one. Prefix again, prefix EU, blasphemous, comes from similar roots. Blasphemous comes from similar roots. When somebody dies, you say, he passed away. He reached the heavenly abode. He kicked the bucket. I would definitely not recommend to use the last one. What is the origin of the phrase kick the bucket? Let's see it. Now, euphemism in a, okay, they have not said it. Okay, have they not answered it? No. Does anybody have an idea why did they say kick the bucket? Or who kicked the bucket first? Who fell into the bucket? Have an idea? We'll come to it, okay? Keep this on your mind. Okay. Whose mistake? No, actually, kick the bucket means died. Huh? Reach the heavenly abode, passed away, all of them means died. I was asking you, where did this phrase kick the bucket come from? We'll go to it a little later. Okay, let's not waste time over there. Euphemisms in a day-to-day life. An archaic use of bucket was a beam from which a pig is hung by its feet prior to being slaughtered. And to kick the bucket originally signified the pig's death throes. Awesome, Akshit Kumar. You deserve appreciation. Wonderful. Excellent. You did it so well. That is the apt explanation. An archaic use of bucket was a beam from which a pig is hung by its feet prior to being slaughtered. Now, the bucket originally signified the pig's death throes. Yes, very much true. And that's not very too perfect. Well, I appreciate, even if it's copy paste here, I appreciate your effort for having done it. Okay, done. So moving on, euphemisms in our day-to-day life. How many euphemisms do we use? Or I was telling you, right, we use some soft words instead of the harsh ones because we don't want it to sound harsh in the first case. Like euphemisms in our day-to-day life, homely versus comely. Instead of using comely, we say homely. Instead of death penalty, we say capital punishment. Instead of toilet, we say restroom or comfort station. Instead of prison, we say penitentiary, or we also use this soft word, right? What is it? It's not rehabilitation. It says correctional facility, right? Correctional facility. Prisons are called as correctional facilities. And we also use euphemisms to describe disabled. We don't call them disabled, right? We call them differently abled. So differently abled should be a euphemism. Needy is a euphemism for beggars. And okay. Yeah. So restroom, homely food, capital punishment. Now, euphemistic is adjective form of euphemism because euphemism is a noun form. So euphemistic is the adjective form. Clearly understood. Let's see what important things we have. Yeah, this one is your small assignment. Quickly on the paper. Specially able. Yeah, dear. I want you to take a note of these words and come up with the answers. You have 2 minutes to do the job. Other words starting with EU. You have to look for the answers and tell me the words. Eugenics, eupeptic, eudaimon, euphony, eulogy. Eulogy is already said praising speech. And they have already said often confused with elegy. Now, elegy is different. Elegy is a mournful poem. Elegy, like when somebody passes away, we actually deliver this one, elegy, a sad poem or a sad, not a sad speech. Usually, it's a kind of a rhyme. So, start doing your work. Eugenics, eupeptic, eudaimon, euphony, eulogy. Eulogy is already set. These four words. You can just type in that column, because unmuting and muting is taking time. So we'll quickly go. Let's be a little quick. We also have a nice worksheet to do. Okay. Eugenics is planned breeding or racial improvement. Eugenics. Okay, right here. Right, Ananya. How to arrange reproduction within a human population to increase the occurrence of heritable characteristics. Very true. Eupeptic is relating or having good digestion or a consequent air of healthy good spirits. Okay, true. Because peptic results to digestion, food, and all. Having a good digestion and being healthy. Okay. Application of the principle of genetics and inheritance, eugenics. Application of the principle of genetics and inheritance. Okay, almost it takes there. Eupeptic being healthy, good digestion. Okay, very good. Eugenics is planned breeding. Okay. Eudaimon, as the name says, good demon. Very nice. Demon. Excellent, Shivatmika. Right. Eudaimon, a good spirit, a good demon, right? Euphony is the opposite of cacophony. Cacophony, huh? Cacophony is something unpleasant. So euphony is a good sound. Very good. Rhythmic. Spirit or demon. Right. Wonderful. We are done then. Awesome. Right, everybody. Very well done. That was so quick, all of you. I just wanted you to work on the words, okay, rather than me telling you directly the word meaning. Eugenics, technically, it's planned breeding to have the same, to inherit the characteristics. Let's say the king wanted the qualities of, you must have read about Hercules and all. I'm told, Hercules was invited to different countries because Hercules was so strong, healthy, and the kings in different countries wanted, his genes. They wanted, they wanted their grandchildren to inherit the genes of Hercules. So he was invited there to the kingdom. So that is planned breeding. So eugenics relating to planned breeding. Okay, eupeptic, good digestion, being healthy, done. EU means good. So demon, a good spirit. Very good. Cacophony is something that's unpleasant, not in a rhythmic. So euphony is a good sound, pleasant sound. Very nice. Eulogy is a praising speech. So we said when somebody passes away, you talk about the good deeds that the person has done. On his wedding, you deliver a speech. Hercules was the son of Zeus. Very nice, Akshit. You're doing a lot of work, dear. Nice. Let's quickly move to the next slide because we have a lot of them. You can see them. So done. The next assignment is done. Quickly on the paper. First, write them out on your paper. Write these words on the paper and then you can type. The words are these. Plaudit, encomium, pain, panegyric, citation, tribute. Copy them on your notebook and then type it here. First, make sure that it is written here and then you can do. Right here. Harini, I just saw that. Ananya also, I saw that. Both of you are correct. Go on. First, take a note of it and then go on, okay? Number 2. Okay. Number 3. You're going clockwise, right? Showing gratitude. So this should be number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. Number 5. And this is 6. The 6th one is piano. Right, Sharath? The last one, right? Piano. Song of praise. See, all of them literally means something good. Now, it's a song. It should be a good song. I mean, a song that is praising. Now, it's tribute. I'm having too much of network issues. Okay, dear Hanish. Okay, I see that. Okay. You're excused, Hanish, and I'll ask, Sampath sir to send you the PPT or the worksheet you could manage. Encomium is the speech of writing or praise. Okay. Number 5, speech on praises. Right, Nana? Okay. Number 6, peace, a speech of peace writing that praises someone. Okay. You're referring to encomium, right? Because the 6th one, pian, is a song, a rhyme praising someone. Number 5. Yeah, number 5. Done. Great. Okay, great. I see. I have read all your answers. I've read your answers. I'm happy that you all have done. Let's not brood over it for a little more time. Done. Moving on. The next, again, antonyms of you. Now let's learn about the antonyms, the opposites of it. Antonyms of eulogy: tirade, philippic, broadside. Her tirade provoked a counterblast from her husband, not from somebody else. Diatribe, fulmination, thunderous verbal attack. Now, diatribe is thunderous verbal attack. As you can see, this man, what is he doing? It is definitely thunderous verbal attack. Speech in bad will, right, dear? He launched into a long diatribe at the opposition party leader. That naturally happens in our sabhas, the so-called sabhas, delivering a long, lengthy speech of hatred, hate speech. Now, antonyms of eulogy: harangue, rant, a long harangue from the headmaster about good behavior. This is called irony. Take a look. A long harangue from the headmaster about good behavior. Now it is something like, the librarian screams, okay, silence. The librarian screams silence. That's the irony. So synonyms is applaud or loud. Synonyms for harangue or rant is applaud. You're praising somebody, applauding somebody. So opposite and synonym. Next. So euphoria, it is ecstatic state. That means we say on 11th moon, on 11th heaven or something, the nth degree of happiness. I'm on cloud nine, right? We generally use those phrases. It's pleasure, ecstasy, surprise, astonishment, similarity, cloud nine, right? Misbehavior, crime, joy, euphoric. Now, what are we trying to do here? We are connecting them. Euphoria, ecstatic state, or nth degree of happiness, cloud nine, pleasure, ecstasy, surprise, astonishment. Similarly, misbehavior with crime and joy with euphoric, being euphoric, happy. Moving on quickly. So, euphony, pleasant sound, melody. We have seen it, cacophony, right? Right? We understood what's euphony and cacophony. Okay, so synonym of euphony, connaissance, assonance, in agreement. When the chords are in agreement, I mean the music is in agreement. The synonym of euphonic, mellifluous or dulcet. Dulcet. So mellifluous is very melodious, very pleasant to hear. Euphoric. Now, euphoric and melancholic, ecstatic, dejected, are they synonym or opposite? Euphoric, melancholic, ecstatic, dejected. Synonyms or antonyms? Antonyms, right? Because euphoric is something to do with happiness, whereas melancholic is sadness, right? Sad. So ecstatic is happy, dejected is the opposite one. Done. Next one. Euthanasia. What is euthanasia? A pleasant death. Remember in any film that talks about euthanasia? Mercy killing? Remember any film? Which film do you remember? There was a Hindi film called Guzarish, Hrithik Roshan's film. It talks about mercy killing, right? Hrithik Roshan, Aishwarya Rai, who is assigned as his mistress and all. I'm not sure if you remember this film or you have seen this film. So he's a magician and he has an accident and he's bedridden. He's in a vegetative state and he applies for euthanasia, the mercy killing from the court. Happy death, right? So it's from the Thanatos, the Greek god of death. When somebody is undergoing a painful death, the doctors, with the consent of the patient, tries to provide him a quick and easy death. That's called euthanasia. That's mercy killing, kind of, right? Now, let's see. Talking about the root word now. We have seen prefix, we have seen suffix. Now, let's talk about something called a root word. Okay, take a look at the things that are on screen. In a few seconds, we'll start. Even Piku Deepika Padukone film, right? Piku could be right. I haven't seen the film. Okay, so dict, say, valediction, predict, edict. Now, dict is the root word. It means say, and the word is valediction, prediction or predict, edict, and sona or phony means sound, dissonance, cacophony, symphony. What does sim mean? What does the word sim mean? Quickly, quickly. We'll not waste time here. We'll quickly take the worksheet also. Sim. Quickly. Symphony. Phony, sound. Sim, pleasant sound. Similar, same, right? Pleasant, nice. Let's say organized, uniformed. Very good. So here, sim and sin means together, similar, like, same, organized, all of them. So synonym, symposium, sympathy, and synchronize. Now, this is what you call a symposium, a lecture hall, okay, a place where people meet together, discuss. It could be discuss music. It could also be a place where people sit and talk about music. A symposium is a hall, technically a hall. Synchronize, you know very well. Now, let's take a look at this thing called. You have this word on the screen for some time. It is to your understanding. Watch it for a few seconds and understand it the way it should be understood. Root words, pathos, you have pity, sympathy, pathos is the root word, and you have words going up here to the right, to the left. You can type in here what you understand from each word. The word sympathy, empathy, compassion. How do you understand these words? Or even a few words will do, not all of them. They've clearly said here, see, pathos is given, sympathy is given, it is similar words. And here pathos is the root word, it says similar words, and to the right it goes to higher intensity, and here it comes to opposite. So opposite of sympathy should be antipathy, aversion, or repugnance, whereas similar words are sympathy, pity, and compassion. And higher intensity is empathy. Empathy is, you feel the other person's pain literally. It is literally saying, I feel what you feel. And if you say, I know how you feel, it is sympathy. Nonchalance, casual, dispassionate, indifference. Now, what is this apathy? Opposite or synonym? Dispassionate, indifference, nonchalance, and casual. Do they all sound similar? I mean, do they all sound positive or negative? Indifference meaning difference about being your behavior, about your negative, yes. Indifference meaning difference about your behavior between different people, okay, maybe. Indifference is not interested here. Technically, you're not interested. You're not concerned about the other person's feeling. It doesn't matter to you. Okay. You can take a note of these words. Not all of them. A word or two that sounds unfamiliar, not all of them. So pity, compassion, and sympathy are similar words. And to the right, you have a stronger word of higher intensity called empathy. Opposites are aversion, antipathy, repugnance. And this also means negative, apathy, indifference, not so interested and all. Okay. Next, coming to the crux of, or it also means the same dear. Repugnance also means antipathy, opposite. Indifference, not being concerned. So now coming to the crux of the point behind teaching you this CLAT vocabulary. Another analogy, if being out of rhythm or sound means dissonance, because we already know the word dis does not have a positive sound to it. So we already know assonance, something positive, in sync, in rhythm, like we say symphony, like cacophony is not being in sync. Being out of time means what? Okay, time, anachronism. So being out of time, what does this image say? The image and the electric guitar. Look at this, out of time, right? Time. So being out of sound or rhythm is dissonance. Out of time is anachronism, and out of sound is dissonance. You get it? Out of time, anachronism. Out of sound, dissonance. Moving on. So the root word chronos. What does the root word chronos mean? In the movie Troy, in a particular scene, there is a airplane hovering over the head of Brad Pitt. Echilish. That's anachronism. What does it mean? Out of time. Troy and an airplane hovering over, Brad Pitt's. That could be a technical issue in the film. So the root word chronos means a time. We say chronology, chronicles of Narnia, and all. What is chronicles actually? Chronology we know, in a chronicle sequences, in an order. Chronic is this one. Chronic illness, lasting long lasting diseases. Chronic bachelor, forever bachelor. Chronic is long lasting. Chronicles. What does chronicles mean? The Chronicles of Narnia, Tales of Narnia, and Book of Records series. Very good, all of them. Right. Okay. Chronology is in an order of sync. Chronicles are series or Book of Records, Tales. All of them are correct. Moving on. And malnutrition, malpractice, bad. Words related to root word mal means bad, evil, or harmful. Malign is to vilify somebody, like what politicians do. They have malign, they have hatred for other politicians. And what they do, they deliver speech talking about the bad side of the person. Stop the speech at once. Your comments have vilified our organization. That means insulted, ridiculed. Malaise is a diseased condition. Malaise is, see, the both words could be pronounced the same. It's just the spelling. Malice is bad intention or evil intention you have on others. So you can pronounce it as malaise. It means a disease condition, a bad condition, unfavorable condition. Malediction or malediction is means cursing somebody, and malodorous means a foul smelling, bad smelling. So malodorous is foul spelling, bad spelling. Malignant tumor refers to cancer, opposite to benign or benignant cancer. Okay. So what does the word benign mean? Being kind? Huh. So being kind. Okay, you can either make a note of this, or if you remember, it's easy. I don't think you need to make a note of it, dear. As long as you understand the word mal means bad, you should be able to guess what these words mean. Be it malign, malice, or malodorous, or malignant tumor, or malaise. However, I'll have it for a few seconds. If there is something that you wish to copy, you can take a note. We'll still have some questions on the worksheets also. We could do that. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and done. So Beni means good, we already know. Benefactor, beneficent. The opposite root word mal is Beni. The opposite of the root word mal is Beni, which means good. So benign is the opposite of malign. Benign is the opposite of being or opposite of malign. Benign is good. It's pronounced as benign. Beneficiary or benefactor comes from the word benefit. You know both the words, beneficiary or benefactor. Beneficiary is a person who receives the benefit. It's clearly understood. So beni is a good word. Opposite of malign is benign. So the root word gnosis or cognos. So root word gnosis and cognos. Let's see, gnosis and cognos. Agnostic, a person who claims that we cannot have true knowledge about the existence of God. We have theist, we have atheist, we also have agnostic. Theist, a person who believes in the existence of God. Atheist, a person who does not believe in the existence of God. And agnostic, a person who claims that we cannot have true evidence about the existence of God. It comes from the root word gnosis, means knowledge. Gnosis means knowledge. Okay. Prognosis, prediction about how something will develop. Something will develop in the future. Prognosis, like something like diagnosis, right? So you diagnose a patient to see the potentiality of a disease, right? So prognosis, a prediction about how something will develop over time. And Cognizant, the software company, knowledgeable. Okay, so cognizant means knowledgeable. Someone who is wise, knowledgeable is called cognizant. So cognos relates to knowledge, or gnosis also relates to knowledge because you see a slash. They both mean one and the same. Gnosis and cognos means knowledge. Prognosis, a prediction about something, how something will develop, and cognizant, knowledgeable, agnostic. There we go. Credo. We know this word, credibility, right? Credo means belief. Credibility is the trust, right? We talk about credibility. Belief, faith, and truth. See, credulous, gullible, naive, a person who believes easily. A gullible person who believes things easily, who trusts people easily. So credo means belief, faith, trust. So credulous is referring to a person. When you call somebody credulous, it means a person is naive, a person who is gullible, who believes things easily. Credible, believable. I don't think this credible. What is the credibility of it? Let's, what is the trust? What is the trust factor? He was credulous. He was credulous enough to, some have technical issues, I see that. He was credulous or credible enough to believe the manufacturer's claims. So what do you think? It's credulous or credible? Is it credulous or credible, dear? Credulous, right? It's not credible, right? Done. Okay, so next one. Numbers. Mono means one, bi means two, poly means many, penta means five, octo means eight. We know this. So mono, monolith, monochrome, monotheism, monologue, and monarchy. I don't think you need explanations on this. Monolith, carved on a single stone. Monochrome, one color. Monotheism, believing in one God. Monologue, one person delivering a monologue. It's a kind of a dialogue, but needs two people. It's monologue, one person. Monarchy, ruled by one person. Done. Bigamy. What is bigamy? Answer. Guess. Binoculars, you know very well. Polygamy is act of marrying more than one person. Polyglot is a person who involves in multiple marriages. Pentagon, I want you to tell me the meaning of pentagon, bigamy. Now that I have already said polygamy, you should be able to get two persons, right? Okay, bigamy, getting married, having two partners, What is pentagon? Now you should be able to easily guess octogenarian because it means eight. Octogenarian, somebody who is 8 years old or 80 years old. Pentagon, five sides, right? Five shaped, five figure shaped, right? Octogenarian and octopus, eight legged. Done. Monolith, monochrome, monotheism, monologue, monarchy, bigamy, binoculars, polygamy, polyglot, Polyglot is a person who involves in more than one relationship or more than one marriage. Polygamy is act of getting married more than once. Pentagon, five shaped, octogenarian, 80 years old, eight hands. Okay, right. Next, deca, 10, cent, 100, decameter, decimate, decimal. These are related to numbers, nothing much to be learned here. Center, century, centipede. Tell me, how is this related here? Cent means 100, centipede. Centennial, referring to 100 years. Centenary also, Millennium, millimeter, not difficult to understand. 100 legs, centipede, insect having many feet, right? A centipede, have you ever seen a centipede? Not literally, dear. Yeah. No. Yep. Centipede, does it look cute? Somebody said yes. Did somebody? Okay. Now, confusing root words, let's have a look. Technically, it means, not all root words can literally give you this is what it means. For example, what does the root word ambi mean? What does the root word ambi mean here? Ambi? AMBI? Both, right. So, ambidextrous? Ambidextrous? Right. A person who can use either hands, right, equally, right? A person who can use both the hands equally is called ambidextrous. Does ambidextrous and ambience mean the same? No. Ambience refers to environment, right? So there can be some confusing root words as well. Let's take a look. What are they? Root words which are confusing. Pediatrics, branch of medicine concerned with the treatment of infants and children. Okay. Comes from the root word pedos. Whereas pedodontist, a dentist who specializes in the care of children's teeth. Now, there's nothing much confusion here. Pediatrics is the branch of medicine concerned with the treatment of infants and children, and pedodontist or pedodontist is a dentist who specializes in the children's teeth. Done. Nothing specifically to learn here. Pedicure, very well. Why did pedicure come from? Okay, anyway. Tripod, very well. Some of you are probably using it to attend the class. Not really? Anyway, so pedicure, a professional care for the foot, toenails, comes from the root word pod. Okay, tripod, three-legged. So pod definitely means leg. So tripod is, tri means three-legged, and pedicure is referring to the legs. Okay, now very quickly we will take, what do we take? We will take the PDF, which has some wonderful questions. Okay. A second. Here. You have a lot of writing to do here. Okay. I want you to be ready with the paper or book, whatever you have got. Session objective is root words and the etymology both. I'm not looking for answers for all of them. I'm looking for answer for the first one now in 2 minutes. You will only fill this column now. You have 2 minutes to finish. Circum means around. So, what do these words mean? Circuitous, circumlocution, circumscribe, circumspect, and circumvent. You can answer any two of them, not all. Two will do. Okay, quickly on the paper. Any two, any two do. Some circumscribe, circle the whole thing. Okay. I'll ask Sampath sir to send you this worksheet so that you can sit down with it, think over, do it. But now let's quickly do two from each. Unwilling, okay. Not taking risks, okay. Having a circular or unwinding course. Okay. Now, if you're done answering two, go to the next one. I want two from each one. Levis means light, ante before, retro. Answer two only. Float, fly. Like the word alleviate, that means it makes it less painful, making something less painful. Relieve, you feel relief. Two words on the paper, and then I can unmute some of you or have a small interactions with you on the word that you have learned. You can take your time, don't hurry, do it slowly, relax. Okay. Now, if you have internet issues, you don't have to be concerned. The last worksheet to be sent, okay? Don't panic. I'm glad that we didn't have any technical glitches from my side at the least. Yes, Dhruv, I just read that. Correct. Go to the third column. If you're done with answering two, go to the third one. Yes. Dhruv, I read it. Correct, Jenya. Right, Jenya, I just read that. Correct, dear. I want two words from the first five. First five roots, okay? Two. That's all. Any two will do. Okay. You have 2 more minutes. I'll go there. I'll come there, dear. You have 2 more minutes to finish two words from each column. We'll have a small talk. Hmm. In 2 minutes, we are going to have a small talk. Okay. Now I think we can start. Okay. So yeah. First, Ananya. Hello, Nanya. Hello, dear. I don't hear you, dear. Stuti, are you there? Stuti Miglani?
Yes,
Yeah.
so
How about giving me two words, dear, from the first column? Any two words that you have learned?
yes, sir. Circumvent means to have a way around, like an obstacle,
Right.
and so then circumscribe means to encircle.
Excellent. We are done there. That goes to the very well done. We'll go to Ayush Chand. Ayush, are you there? Let's be a little quick, dear. Ayush. Oh. Durga Akshaya?
Yes, sir.
Yes, dear. How about going to the second column, two words?
Sir, circumscribe.
No, second column.
Okay, in the light,
Right.
in the second one.
Yes.
Okay. 1 second, sir. Sir, levitate, sir.
Hmm.
Levitate is like it's like a rising or drifting kind of thing.
Right. Very good. One more word.
And flying. Okay, one more word is like 1 second, sir. Sir, relive.
Hmm.
I think it's like some pain or
It should,
like
no, it
less
should be read like,
surviving
it should be read
or
like
dull.
relieve.
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 It's
So
like
relieve
dull.
means relax something, dear.
Yeah.
Make something relax. Okay, done. Quickly, let's move to whom do we have? Yeah, Akhtar, Mohammed Akhtar.
Am I audible?
Yes, Akhtar from the third, ante before.
So which one? First one? From third, first one.
Yes, ante room. Are you reading this one, dear? Ante room.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what does it mean?
So it serves typically as a waiting room for the
Okay, good
visitors.
one. And what word have you learned?
So I have learned many words like divert, introvert today in the class or from this worksheet. Hello, am I audible?
Sir, you're not audible.
Okay, now is it okay now? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Good. Okay, fine. So, Akhtar, one is ante-room, done. One more word from the same column, dear. Which one do you know?
Yes, sir. And from third, it's an antebellum, which means a period before war.
Period before war. Correct, dear. Well done. So there goes Akhtar. Akhtar, then it's Pragya. Pragya, are you there, dear? Pragya.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, dear. So tell me,
Good
from the
evening,
fourth,
sir.
very good evening, dear. Hope you're doing well. So what word do you know?
Retrograde.
Okay, and what does it mean?
Retrograde. Moving backwards.
Okay, next.
Retronym, a new term
Okay.
created from an existing old word.
Excellent. Well done, dear. Next, we'll have Ananya. Ananya, am I audible? Ananya, are you there? Can you be a little quick, Ananya? Hey, dear. Okay.
So can I do this one? It seems she'll
Yeah,
do the
go
next
ahead.
one.
So I'll give Ananya the next one. Go on.
Yeah. Sir, revert in sense, is it like, you know, turning type of? Like, you say, right, I am reverting, because like I'm returning to some topic or something. So
Yes.
revert is like returning.
I'll revert it back to you. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll revert it back to you. I'll come back to you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Vertical means, it's straight. Like you said,
Hmm.
vertical, horizontal, A4 sheet
Hmm.
paper.
Hmm.
So vertical is like straight, straight. Sorry. Divert means diverting your attention. We say diverting your attention, right?
Right.
So
Done.
divert means getting distracted, I would say. Okay.
Correct, dear.
Yeah. Next
Done.
comes introvert. Introvert is someone who's not as socialized, or as a person who doesn't go out maybe often.
Right.
That type of person. And
Right.
ambivert is like the person is both. He
Right.
can be extrovert and introvert.
Right.
Like me.
Well done.
Example
Well
me.
done, dear. Ananya, are you there? Is the mic ready now? Okay. So there seems to be a little issue with Ananya. So we'll do one thing. The next participant is we'll have hey Lopez, Elsa Lopez. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Elsa,
Good
is it you,
evening.
Elsa? Elsa, we have
Yes, sir.
one word credo, auto, bio, hyper, mono, flu, and graphy. And you need to give not five, just two words on any of these. You could choose. You know, it says give five words that are based on the root words, but I just ask you for two. Among which one would you like to give? Credo, bio, auto, hyper, mono, flu, or graphy?
Uh, so I know all the words, sir, but not more than one.
Okay, let's try.
So credo is
Yeah.
credulous, as you thought in
Credulous,
it. Yeah, it's a person who can believe in anything easily.
right? And
Or
credibility,
naive, and yeah, yep,
credulous
and
and
then
credibility,
credibility.
right? Right, Lopez? Good, well done. Next, we'll have Ashika Bugra. Ashika, 3, 2, 1. Ashika, are you there? These worksheet, I mean, the paper will be sent to you as the assignment. I would want you to do all of them. Okay, now in the class, we are just getting to know how this should be done. Yeah, isn't Ashika there? Akshit Kumar?
Am I audible?
Yes, Akshit. Akshit, how about giving me two words on auto?
Sir, one is autobiography and
Very
other
nice.
is automatic.
Excellent, done. Next one, we'll have Harini, retaker.
Yes, sir.
Right, dear. Bio,
Biography is like writing about someone's life.
right?
Biology study about life species.
Excellent, done, dear. Sharad Mukherjee. Sharad. Hello, dear.
So sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Yeah,
Actually, some
Sharad.
personal
Hyper.
issue. Oh, hyper. Sir,
Right.
hyper. Do I have to make a sentence? Oh
Hmm.
yeah, give 5 words that are
Just give
based
me
on the
words
given
with
rule.
hyper. That's all. Hmm.
Okay. Hyperactive.
Right.
Uh, hyperactive. Hyper. Overactive. I don't know. Overactive.
Hyperactive and hyper.
So 1 minute. I'm not.
Hypertension.
Okay.
Hyperactive.
Hypertension.
Hypertension.
Hyper excitable.
Ah.
Hyper.
Oh, done, done. You're done with 2 words. It's okay. Done. Moving to Divyangna Chauhan.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Right. Divyangna Mono. Mono, dear.
Sir, monotonous and
Monotonous. Very nice.
monogram.
And we already learned one. Monochrome. Monopoly.
Yeah.
Yes. People are doing it. See, dear, I'll tell you before the class winds up. If the exercise says give 5 words, you should be able to give 10 words. That's your challenge. You need to broaden your horizon, push your limits, make sure that you write more than what is asked. Okay, dear?